Do you feel any different today? Do you feel emancipated?
Why?
We're not in Europe anymore, apparently.
I don't feel any different because we're still in the EU.
We are.
We didn't leave last night, but one thing everyone's agreed on is that we should pretend that we left last night.
It's really weird.
It's just bizarre.
I had this come up at work, yeah. So we sell some products to EU customers. So at the beginning of
saying, "Oh no, we can't tell them tomorrow."
At the beginning of the month, we had a discussion, and I was told, okay, at the end of the month, we're going to have to reduce the VAT rate on all our products to EU customers to 0. And I went, okay. I just thought,
so people making those decisions.
I just dismissed it at the time and thought, okay, I'll deal with that when we're close to it. So on Thursday, I sent him in. So just to confirm, you want me to reduce all the parts we sell on the website to 0% VAT to EU customers. It's pretty much the same as everyone else in the world. Yeah. And I got the reply, I was just going to email you about that. I'm getting some conflicting information. And I was like,
really?
I said, well, it is strange because I was under the impression we're on a transitional arrangement and the actual deal will be in December.
Yeah.
Maybe, barring any extensions or anything like that. And nothing was going to change up until that point.
Yeah.
And they just would not accept it. It said on the government website, we are leaving the EU on the 31st of December.
It does, yeah. At a big party.
Yeah. And basically, I hope they don't watch this, but they refused to believe anything I could cite. So there was independent articles, there were platforms we trade on, there were couriers we used to ship abroad, and there was the agents who do with our import and exporting, all saying in their opinion, nothing's changing. And they refuse to believe it.
So are they like obsessive Brexiteer people?
I have no idea, but I suspect so.
Well, there must be.
I suspect we've got someone who voted for Boris because Brexit, and then they're refusing to admit that they were sold a pup.
I see, yeah. So
that's the only thing I can think.
Brexit. Yeah.
Or she's, well, I don't want to say she, but maybe they're being ultra careful. But it got a bit frustrating towards the end. I thought, hang on, I'll give you
facts.
Okay, I'll give you my opinion to start with, but I mean, I think we've got enough now. Enough people telling us.
Oh God,
this is going to be an issue when we've actually got an agreement in place. Yeah, we should be accepting this now. And then I was at the doctor's yesterday, as I told you, getting some vaccinations, and they had Jeremy Vine on the radio
talking about how we're leaving tonight.
It was a phone-in thing, wasn't it? It had different people saying how they feel about it and that. And
that one's terrible. Yeah, I remember it. I haven't listened to that for years, but bloody hell.
I actually, in the doctor's waiting room, I said, oh, for fuck's sake. Because this woman, she's going, leaving the EU is a great thing. We're going to trade more with the Commonwealth. And this guy comes and said, well, the Commonwealth is a lot smaller than the EU. EU is our biggest trade. Well, what you're talking about is we're definitely going to lose trade. And Jeremy Vine went back to him and said, well, okay, he's saying factually, nothing's going to change. But are there any reasons apart from trade that you can think of? And do you know what she came up with? There's some emblem in the EU which has a man riding on a bull. And she said that was a satanic symbol and that therefore the EU is a satanic institution.
Fantastic. Yes. Brilliant. Not joking.
She wasn't joking. Honestly, I could have smashed my head up against the wall. I just thought, flipping it. We deserve everything we get.
She's gone full Brexiteer. Never go full Brexiteer. Satan. Oh.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? Should you have to pass a test to vote? They've just bought into it, haven't they?
Well, it's emotive. It's not...
not logical.
Yeah, it's completely emotive. It just feels good to say fuck you. There's that song, isn't there? Fuck off. 17 million fuck offs. I think that song's really funny. But that's what it is. And that's why they like it. And whatever's wrong in their life, whatever. Don't leave me, Sheila. They can project onto that.
It's the EU.
That's what it is.
So what the worrying thing is, now we're out of the EU, and all these people will be going and saying, "See, nothing's going to change. The Earth hasn't caved in. Now we've left the EU.
We're still in.
So when their life doesn't change in any meaningful respect, what are they going to blame it on then? That's the
Something
worry.
else. But
but what is that other thing going to be?
But It's Dominic Cummings knows exactly what he's doing, I'm sure. And he may be doing something completely different, but I think I know. People don't remember. You know? These people, they don't, whatever they're ranting about, they don't remember what they were ranting about a year ago. So a year later, when we actually leave, they might not even be talking about it. It'll be something else to blame, or it'll be a different angle. They won't even. The brain will not be in the same position.
So the worry is what are they actually going to blame, given the xenophobic and anti-foreigner undertones to this?
It could be something very, very nasty.
Let's be clear. Not every Brexiteer is xenophobic or racist.
And there's a difference between Brexiteers now and the ones that voted in 2016.
But there are
huge difference.
There are. Put it this well.
There are not all Brexiteers are racist, but all racists voted Brexit. That's the phrase, isn't it?
Yeah. So the next thing that comes along, my life's not right. What's the problem?
Yeah, and they'll be provided with information about that with some crap. It doesn't have to be that. I'm sure they already have a plan. I've said this before. I'm sure they know what they're doing. But it does seem that it's Dominic Cummings actually knows how to manipulate people and how to do it, and has planned it for years. So he knows exactly what he wants. Is
it Dominic Cummings? Because there seems to be a lot of Linton Crosby in this as well. So like just before the general election, they announced that they were going to ban fracking or something like that. Now, does anyone seriously think that's going to stick, or is that just something that they can do as a sop to the voters they need to win? Also, sort of nationalised. Is it North East Rail this week?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going to bring North East Rail back into public ownership.
So was that one of the things they promised?
It's not one of the things they promised, but that's obviously a sop to the north.
Yes, it is.
So there'll be big headlines about that. What will the headlines be when they re-privatise it?
Yes, nothing.
Probably to someone associated with Boris Johnson. There will be no headlines. Yeah. But people will have the fear, think, the Conservatives, occupying the centre ground.
Yeah, I need to vote Conservative for change because the Labour did that when they were in.
Yeah,
they've not been in.
Interesting times.
I do think that was the thing, that people were voting Conservative to change.
It's weird, that, isn't it?
And, oh God.
Yeah. I said to my brother this morning, I'd love to leave this country.
There's something really wrong now.
And he said, where would you go? And I said, probably either Vienna, maybe the Dordogne, somewhere like that. Anywhere but here. Well, not anywhere.
It's crap.
It's crap. If Sarah wasn't training.
Yeah. I mean, well,
and work and stuff, and my dad.
Yes, but I mean, if you wrote that on a message board or whatever, you would get the response of, "Well, why don't you go then? I love it here." And then their next post will be, "Why is this happening? Why are you doing this? I hate blah 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 blah." Because they hate it more than we do.
Yeah, very strange. Anyway, so.
But they like cups of tea and British and bowler hats. And fish and chips.
I like how the argument shifts. So we've got to have Brexit because of democracy.
Yeah.
That's what people voted for. That's what they want. In spite of the fact that the majority of people vote for Remain parties in the last general election. When you talk about, okay, Scotland needs to have a referendum then because it looks like they want to leave, all of a sudden you hate Britain.
Well, you hate Britain. If you want democracy, you hate Britain. Yeah. Because we don't do that here.
Wanting democracy is now hating Britain.
Yeah, well, it is zealotry, isn't it? That's the problem. Though. Very kind of. I think it had happened first in the US, and they applied it here. The zealot thing, the getting you to choose a side, and then you must defend your side, not think about facts and what's good and things like that. You've got to, this is my side. I must figure out a way of making that the right one.
Rationally assessing things is bad for business, though. So we're better off people not rationally assessing things and buying things on gut instinct. Only that kills our democracy, and it kills the market essentially.
Eventually, yeah, it does. And then nothing is worth anything. Nothing has value. Everything is irrelevant.
Only brand names.
Yes, only brand names, and I cannot drink in pubs.